Hey, I hope you get to watch this before they take this down. I'm hiding out here in the basement in hopes they don't track me down and shut down this whole operation. I just actually I'm sitting in the church janitor's closet and I realize that nobody much is paying attention to me. However, I always wanted to say that. Hey, watch this before they take it down. I don't really know how much that really happens, but it does work. I always watch the things that they say. I'm like, hey, man, maybe this is important. Seldomly is always ever that big of a deal, but I think it's kind of funny. I do want you to think about today the fact that you are actually being watched. Now, I'm not talking about the creepy little apps that you put on your phone and can track you down here. And someday, if I ever do anything that's interesting, I'm going to actually have to disconnect those apps or figure out how to turn them off. I'm not talking about that stuff, but I am talking about the fact that as children of God, we are being watched right now. People want to know, is this faith we talk about, is this Jesus, is this personal relationship with Him, is it real? Does it work during hard times? Your friends, your co-workers, your neighbors, and especially your kids, your grandkids, they want to know, does this work? And they're watching our lives to see. The Apostle Paul wrote to the church at Philippi, and one of the things he said is, I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel. Now, he's writing to the place where he was imprisoned, he was in dungeon, he was thrown in the pit. And while there, he was singing and praising God. And they watched this. They saw his life be different. But he says to them now in a letter, he says, what has happened to me? The rough times that I'm going through, it is for the advancement of the gospel. And then the psalmist in Psalm 50, verse number 15, wrote this. He said, God says, call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. Do you understand that we right now, by our trusting response to God, have an incredible opportunity to advance the gospel and to glorify our God?